Number 10, A Canterlot Wedding. For this list, I decided to only put one of the two-parters on here. Not that the other two are bad, I like the pilot a lot, and the episode with Discord is amazing, but there's something to this one. For example, the sheer paranoia that comes along with it. For those of you who do not know it, Twilight Sparkle's brother is getting married. And for those of you who are trying to find him before this, don't bother trying, they kinda created him out of thin air. And get used to that! Twilight is mad that he didn't inform her about the wedding, but it seems like Canterlot has been having problems. One could ask the question of why the main six weren't brought in before this, since they saved the date twice already. At least twice already, but never mind. And it is revealed that at least Twilight likes Shining Armor's bride-to-be. Well, she did. The bride is now a royal pain. Also, she's Celestia's niece, which I also think means she's come out of thin air as well. That would require Celestia to have a sister or a brother, and she has one that we know of, Luna, who was imprisoned in the moon for 1,000 years right next to where Capcom keeps Mega Man. So I have a hard time believing that this is her daughter. But oh well. Twilight thinks that she is some sort of evil, and everyone calls her crazy. Until it is revealed that, well, she is! Well, the bride is actually something called a changeling, and in fact the regular bride was trapped in the basement somewhere. In fact, she's the queen of the changelings. Just the fact that you have these things in any universe kinda makes my skin crawl. I mean, they could just switch places with anyone and no one would be the wiser. And a battle ensues as the queen strikes, and the queen actually wins. Well, until My Little Pony copies Stardust. Fitting, because I don't think anyone's seen that film. And the day is saved. Number 9, Ponyville Confidential. I do have to wonder why I'm more harsh on the Cutie Mark Crusader episodes. Well, except the Valentine's Day episode. I know very well why I hate that episode. The three remind me a lot of me and my friends back in Hyrule. You got the leader, for no other reason than she happens to be the one in front, the tomboyish stunt devil that hasn't developed her body's true potential yet, and the... okay, the best I can say about her is she's trying to inspire to be more like her sister. Which my third friend wasn't really like, but I believe a wise man once said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Yes, I believe that was Meatloaf. Yes, truly the wisest of men. Ponyville Confidential might get an edge over the other CMC episodes, because it has very little to do with them trying to earn their cutie marks. It has more to do with them working for the school paper, and finding out that gossip columns do wonders for the paper. Heck, the school paper starts getting sent to 2 cities, as both Ponyville and Cloudsdale wants them. However, the 3 start to lie, misrepresent information, and do other really sneaky, slightly stupid deeds, like printing their sister's diary. Let's just say it doesn't take much for Rarity to stop defending Sweetie Belle in this episode. And when they try to quit, their editor, the school snob, Diamond Tiara, plays quite an interesting role.
Oh, hadn't you guessed? He's the one who's blackmailing you all.
Okay, they don't use the word blackmail, but look at it! She says she'll print their embarrassing stories if they don't comply, and they do comply, with an apology, and everyone suddenly forgives them. Oh, I like how in the apology they explain who they were, when it seems that Rarity spread that little fact around when she found her diary in Sweetie Belle's bag. This leads to them getting kicked off the newspaper, and Diamond Tiara getting demoted. Huh, if only she did her job and read what they were printing, then she could have stopped it from coming out. Number 8, the last roundup. This episode definitely makes the list because of the opening, where Derpy Hooves actually has some speaking lines, and that is awesome.
I just don't know what went wrong. Yeah, it's a mystery. Nice work, Rainbow Dad! You okay, Rainbow Dad? Anything I can do to help? No, nothing. In the name of Celestia, just sit there and do nothing. My bad.
Although the rest of the episode is pretty nice as well, dealing with Applejack not returning home from the rodeo, sending a letter saying, "See ya, suckers!" Okay, not that bad. But she doesn't give much of an explanation to why, which might help keeping her friends in Ponyville and not going on a quest to find her. They wind up tracking her to a small western-type city, the second one in the show actually, and they demand an explanation. A fair request? Applejack refuses to explain. A fair answer. After causing a ruckus in a cherry factory that Applejack is working on, a la I Love Lucy. Not from Drake and Josh. We're on the internet, we might as well at least get the references right. Otherwise, what's the point of Google? The five send in their secret weapon, the loudmouth that can talk a mile a minute. After promising to tell them everything at breakfast, the episode ends with the reasoning behind her running. Oh, wait, no, that would actually be a normal show. Instead, Applejack decides to run. Apparently being in tune with the essence of honesty means that you can run from the truth, just not lie. Despite this, I think being a lie of omission. I love this chase. Definitely the part with Pinkie Pie.
I'll get a real apology later. Rarity catches you. Okay.
Poor Rarity. After the chase ends, we find out that Applejack didn't do as spectacular as one would have expected, and was trying to earn money to send back to Ponyville. Just going to show that you can't always run from your problems. I would also like to note that Vitreous is running from his own problems, even by making this list. What's wrong, Vitreous? Can't beat level 9? And I would like to point out that in the plans for Season 2, your name is nowhere in sight. Wait, what? Number 7, Hurricane Fluttershy. Ever wonder how weather works in this universe? They use machines to make the clouds, then the ponies move the clouds, and voila, rain happens. So, where does the rain come from? Actually, it is explained in this 1950s video.
Every living thing depends on the life-giving nourishment of rainwater. And it is up to Cloudsdale to provide rain-filled clouds to every corner of Equestria. But how, one pony might ask, does Cloudsdale gather all this extra water? Tornado power! That's right, Pegasi-driven tornado power. A team of Pegasi combine their wing power to create a jumbo tornado, powerful enough to pull water out of the local reservoir and funnel it all the way up to Cloudsdale. Remember, Pegasi, your jumbo tornado must reach a minimum of 800 wing power to lift that water up to Cloudsdale. So, the next time you're wondering, where does all that extra rainwater come from, just remember.
Now, personally, I like the one where Patches O'Toole tells me to dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. But oh well. With Rainbow Dash as the leader, they are striving to get a new record. However, Rainbow Dash isn't the focus of this episode. See, Fluttershy, whose flying abilities greatly vary in this show, is afraid to fly around the other ponies, because, well, she's shy. With the help of her animal friends, she tries to improve, but doesn't do well enough. Then when it's time to move the water, 8 ponies end up not making it due to illness, and they need 5 more wing power to move the water to Cloudsdale. So it's Fluttershy to the rescue, and even though she only ran a 2.5 earlier, she manages to generate the necessary wing power. I like this episode because it shows that every little bit helps in team activities. Hey, wait a minute! Why didn't the Wonderbolt help them out? I mean, this is for the entire country, right? Couldn't she have given them the remaining 5 wing power necessary? Oh well, I still like this episode. Number 6, Fall Weather Friends. Now here's a plot that sums up HLHstudios. 2 people just competing to see who is the best. And between the boring and regular Applejack and the totally awesome Stunt Pegasus Rainbow Dash, it is easy to see who should come up on top. Are you saying that I'm Applejack in this scenario? Deal with it, nerd. Just wondering, cause, I think I've seen this episode before. You know, working with you, I tend to see what shows you watch, so, I believe, isn't this whole episode caused because Rainbow Dash is a poor loser? What are you insinuating? Oh, nothing, but I believe that if I was doing better than you, I might find a certain green-eyed monster trying to shut down the media dimension. Don't be ridiculous. Also, just another note, Rainbow Dash cheats throughout this entire episode. Wait, what? Are you saying that I have never done anything like that? Honestly, where are you getting this from? I have been honest since day one. Alright then. Cue the montage! I believe if you go back to those videos, they were clearly explained. See, that is why, at the end of the day, Applejack would win. Well, let's just see who wins then!
Who won? You? Oh no, but I did get 5th place, which is rather good considering I've never run a race before.
Twilight Sparkle? Well, we didn't plan that one out. Who is Twilight Sparkle in this analogy? Ah, Sailor Moon wears a mask throughout most of this. Strange that never made it into the anime. Oh. Hello. Are you guys finished with your video yet? My fans can't wait to see the next episode of Starlight Theater. Wait a... 2... You know, for some reason, I can't hate that guy. And I am starting to see what he means by us sounding the same. This episode is good for some wacky race style shenanigans, as well as some shenanigans with the first contest they had, putting this at the number 6 slot. Number 5, Sister Hooves Social. Sisters fight and argue all the time. This episode definitely makes that clear. Although, what is there, like a 12-year age difference between Rarity and Sweetie Belle? Even when the younger one thinks she's helping out, she ends up ruining everything. I like this episode because this is exactly how my sisters act. At each other's throats all the time. Well, unless they had a single target to focus on, like, let's say the poor younger brother with 3/4 of a heart who can't fight back. Then they would get along fine. Also remember, I am only saying this because my sisters are back in Hyrule. So there's like a 0% chance of them seeing this. If I was from this realm, with sisters in this realm, saying this, that could get me killed. This episode points out that blood is thicker than whatever the heck your younger sister burnt and liquefied. Also, a rare look at Rarity's parents, and more of the sister dynamic between Applejack and Applebloom. Number 4, the Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000. Do I need to say more? When writing this list, I found 2 things out. Number 1, as I got higher in lists, I could write less and less, as I didn't think I needed to explain my decisions anymore. And number 2, this episode's song.
We're saying you've got opportunity in this very community. He's fine with the world, there's swim my brothers. Trouble himself, oh, he's not
Sounds familiar. I think I know it.
Trouble! Oh, we got trouble! Right here in River City! With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool! We surely got trouble! Right here in River City!
No, that ain't right. Close, though. Oh yeah, here it is.
What's it called? Once again!
But Main Street's still all cracked and broken. Sorry, Mom, the mother's spoken.
Mono, don't!
And really, this song reminds me more of the Monorail one, because in the source material, the Music Man, he doesn't really say what he is selling. He is just saying they got trouble, my friends. And in the Monorail, that is practically all he says. Same here. The story is more reminiscent of John Henry, Man vs. Machine. Or, magic, actually. And in the end, it takes about 9 people to outwork a machine. I think they missed the point of a machine. But the Flim Flam brothers weren't gonna be good news for Sweet Apple Acres, and they end up leaving after this episode. The other thing that propels us to number 4 slot is the letter to the princess. Love it. Number 3, the best night ever. All of season 1 led up to one night, the Grand Galloping Gala, and most of the main 6 acted like this is going to be the last night of their lame lives, and the first night of awesomeness. With Applejack wanting to make tons of money by selling sweets there, Rarity finding her true love, another random relative of Celestia that comes out of nowhere, and Rainbow Dash is trying to impress the Wonderbolts. Along with the other 6 that are just there to party, like Pinkie Pie, hang out with their favorite teacher, and to capture and steal the souls of little animals. Wait, give me a minute. I can back that up. However, surprise, none of that goes right. Hanging with Celestia turns into having to greet every single guest that arrives. No one ever wants to buy apples and sweets when there is a free buffet. The Wonderbolts have to be everywhere since they're more there for a celebrity appearance. The party is an upper-class fancy ball, instead of the balloons and candy of the kid's birthday party like Pinkie Pie wanted, and Rarity's date turns out to be a royal pain. Rarity's words, not mine. In fact, I'm gonna play that, just because it makes me smile.
You, sir, are the most uncharming prince I have ever met! In fact, the only thing royal about you is that you are a royal pain!
Ew! Stay back! I just had myself groomed!
Afraid to get dirty?
And as for being nice and kind to attract the animals of the gardens, Fluttershy goes right off the rails!
I'll catch you yet, my pretties. Oh yes, as soon as one of you little birds, or monkeys, or bears touches this net, you'll be mine! Mine!
Like I said earlier, evil! And it all ends well. Oh, no wait, it ends in a train wreck. In the end, they all end up at the donut bar with Spike, where they learned that Celestia was hoping they would bring some life to the party that was always bad for her. It didn't work, and let's just say they weren't invited back for the next Grand Galloping Gala. Number 2, A Dog and Pony Show. Appearance is a wonderful illusion. This episode starts with Rarity needing more jewels to fill a huge order, so she goes out and manipulates a crush Spike has on her to have him do all the hard labor. Oh, like there's a guy out there that hasn't fallen for that one before. And then she gets kidnapped by a group of jewel hunters known as the Diamond Dogs, and they put her to work. Meanwhile, the remainder of the group decide to track down the Diamond Dogs to save Rarity, but they soon learn that the Diamond Dogs aren't a force to be messed with. Meanwhile, Rarity decides to become a royal pain in the ass. Not a bad strategy. And you know, I learned something from this. I don't whine on this show! Rarity explains the difference.
Enough! You're whining! It hurts! Whining? I am not whining. I am complaining. Do you want to hear whining? This is whining. Oh, this harness is too tight. It's going to chafe. Can't you loosen it? Oh, it hurts and it's so nasty. Why didn't you clean it first? It's gonna leave a stain. The wagon's getting heavy. Why do I have to pull it?
Make it stop! Stop whining!
But I thought you wanted whining.
Apparently the difference is in the pitch of the voice. Next time someone tells me I'm whining, I'm gonna do that. It ends actually with the Diamond Dog surrendering because the pony is just a royal pest. And she walks out with all the jewels. A shiny reward and a great episode for number 2. And the number 1 episode of My Little Pony is Green is Not Your Color. Rarity wants Fluttershy to model her gowns for this major fashion designer, but the designer falls in love with Fluttershy's modeling and not Rarity's outfits. So Fluttershy turns into Equestria's next top model, while Rarity turns green with envy. It gets better, actually, as Fluttershy tells Twilight Sparkle that she doesn't even want to be a model. She's just doing it to make Rarity feel better, which it isn't. and Twilight figures out that Rarity's jealous. Unfortunately, Twilight is kept sworn to secrecy, and Pinkie Pie is acting very creepy to make sure she doesn't. Twilight decides maybe I can cheat this by trying to get Fluttershy out of her contract, by using her magic to screw up her next runway walk. But even the green-eyed Rarity can't let her friend go down in flames, so she supports her, and makes Fluttershy still ahead. And then the two come clean about their feelings, yada yada yada, it all ends well. Why does this get the top of the list? I'm a sucker for morals on envy. Maybe because if I had learned this lesson a while ago, I wouldn't be playing Snake, Rattle, and Roll. And that is my top 20 episodes of My Little Pony. And if you want to take a guess at which pony is my favorite, I guess we can end with that game. Still stalling! Still stalling! Now keep in mind I don't hate any of these ponies. But personally for me, I can't stand Pinkie Pie. And I really can't deal with the fact that Raven is now a pony. And Fluttershy is evil. Rainbow Dash is way too mainstream, and if I start liking Applejack, people might want me to start working. And I can't have that. So, Derby Hooves wins! But since she's not part of the main six, I'm gonna go with the runner-up, Rarity. I like her because of the style, and how fast she can go from being a pretty girly girl to getting ready to take her head off. The fact that she can make some fashion so big and yet so small in this universe also astounds me. And having one pony dedicated to this varying profession is kind of interesting. And with that, I can't wait until fall when the new season comes out. Drat! I guess I better get back to playing this game if you want the next part of the challenge run next time. Until then, have a great time, and I'll see you eventually.